when you talk to people, you need to be Batman and not Superman. Now, what is the difference? Yeah, they're both superheroes, right? And they both look like human beings. But Superman is not actually a human being. He came from another planet. So if Superman will provide a workshop how to fly, okay, and I will sit in the first row. I bought the best ticket. And they will explain the exact details, go to the highest tower, go to the roof, check the wind, mind your first step or something like that. I will do exactly what he says, but I'm going to fall because he's a superhuman and I'm just a human being. But Batman can provide a workshop how to fly, and he can tell you, Yaniv, I'm just like you. But then I develop a way how to fly, and let me teach you. And then I relate to him because I say, okay, we are the same. We have common ground. We're both humans. He's not trying just to fake a success, but he can also share the failures, and then people can relate to you.
2, 1, 0.
Hi, and welcome to Stellar Life Podcast. This is your host, Orion, and today I have with me Dr. Yaniv Zaid. Known to the world as Dr. Persuasion, economist and attorney Dr. Yaniv Zaid acts as a business consultant to government departments, private firms, and public organizations. Dr. Zaid is recognized worldwide as an expert in the field of public speaking, marketing, sales, negotiation, and persuasion. Today we talked about active listening, better communication on and offline, how to start with a goal in mind, how to handle objection, how to network and keep in touch and establish relationships, and more and more. And now, without further ado, on to the show. Hi, Yaniv. Welcome to Stellar Life Podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Ryan. Thank you for inviting me. It's a great privilege. I heard lots of your chapters and I enjoyed it very much. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you. I'm honored that you listened. That's awesome. So before we begin, can you share a little bit about yourself and how you discovered your passion?
Yeah, I'm Dr. Yaniv Zaid. My brand is Dr. Persuasion. I'm 47 years old. I live in Tel Aviv in Israel. I'm married for the second time. I have 2 kids from with the first marriage and one on the way, my third kid. And I provide business consulting, and also lectures and workshops worldwide on how to improve your marketing abilities, sales abilities, persuasion abilities, negotiation abilities. And I learned my passion when I was a student. I studied law and economy in University of Haifa, where I was born. It's a city north of Israel. And then I joined the debate society. Debate is when you have some subject and you have two sides arguing about it in front of professional judges or audience. And I competed in many competitions worldwide, and I had many achievements. And then I realized that there is a really big gap between what they teach you in school or the things you need to know and what you actually need to know in your life. For example, communication skills is something that's very important, but nobody teaches you that, because I studied, for example, law and economy. And when I studied law, they taught me everything about law. They taught me public law and criminal law and agreements, etc. And they taught me everything except 3 things. One is how to talk in front of judges. 2 is how to market myself. And 3 is how to write legal documents. And then you go out to the field as a lawyer, and what you need to do? 3 things. You need to write, you need to persuade judges, and you need to market yourself. So nobody taught me this. So I realized there is a really big gap. And when I realized that most people, they don't know how to communicate well, and the debate system, almost no one knows about it, I decided this will be my mission for life, to narrowing the gap between what you need to know in life regarding communication skills and public speaking and sales and marketing, and what let's say the formal education system actually teaches you.
So what do we need to know as far as communication goes? What's missing?
Well, what's missing? First of all, you need to know how to listen, to listen to other people, because most people, they know how to talk about what interests them and their comfort zone and what the subject they would like to talk about, but they don't know how to adjust those messages to the other side, and they don't know how to listen, active listening, and to know how to identify who is in front of you and adapt your message accordingly. You need to have this is one thing. For example, another thing is you need to know how to communicate better with people. I will say, even in the digital era, maybe it's more important in the digital era, when people tend to hide behind the computers, behind emails, behind WhatsApp. You need to know how to communicate with people online and offline, and how to deliver your message better. and you need to know what are your purposes. For example, if I provide a presentation or a speech, I need to know what am I aiming for. Okay, if I were very good, what do I want the audience to do professionally and market wise? Okay, what do I want to do after my lecture, or what do I would like to sell them? If we're talking about business after my presentation, what is the next step? So most people, when they come to presentations, when they come to sales meeting, to marketing meetings, they didn't define their targets before. They don't know what are their objectives. They don't know how to handle objections, questions. They didn't prepare themselves properly, and they don't know how to establish a long-term relationship with their clients, with their vendors, with their colleagues.
Wow, that's a lot. A lot you said in a very short while, so I want to dive deep into each one of them. Active listening. What's active listening looks like?
Active listening is that I need to I ask you questions and you answer, and sometimes you don't give me direct answers right away. I need to take the information out of you, and what I would like to know is what are your let's say hidden interests. What do you really want? Not just what you tell me in the first sentence. But what do you really want? Or for example, if I sell to a client, I would like to know what the client really cares about, not just my product, because my product or my service is the solution. I need to identify the problems of the client. I need to identify the needs of the client. I'm the answer to the needs. I'm the problem to the solution to the problems. But I need to identify, and only then I can, I can sell better. So active listening is if a client calls, for example, or if I'm in a meeting, you say, okay, Yaniv, what do you have to offer to us? I'm not just starting talking about myself. I would like to ask them, okay, what is important for you? What are your goals? What do you want to do? And then if they will tell me, I can say, first of all, am I right for them? Second of all, I know how to sell it to them, because I don't need to talk about all the technical aspects of the product or service. I can talk only about the messages that are relevant for them. And then the conversation is easier and it's shorter.
Yeah. So for you, your definition of active listening is to ask a lot of questions, see what they need, and kind of like listen between the lines
Yeah,
for
and
them
really listen
and
and write it to
aspirations.
myself. Also, really listen, because sometimes people ask, but they're not really listening. They don't write it down. They don't pay attention to the small details that create the big results. So I need to really listen and to really identify your needs, and like you said, to read between the lines.
So what was an example for an interaction you had when you kind of read between the lines, something surprising that maybe someone that is not actively listening would catch that you did?
For example, if an employee, I helped companies, I consulted to companies who had negotiations with talented employees, okay, and the employee would like more money, more money in his salary, her salary, and they can't afford it to pay more money, okay. So obviously it's stuck. We are stuck. We're in a stuck situation. Probably what will happen? Both sides will be angry at each other, and then the employee will leave. They will lose a talented worker. But what if you ask the employee, what do you really want? So the formal interests are money. I would like more money. But what they actually would like in most cases is to be recognized as a talented employee, and to be respectful. And maybe they would like better conditions. I would like a room of my own. Okay, not to share my room with another person. I would like to have a better view from my room. I would like maybe a better car to get from the company. I would like maybe to have a better cell phone or something like that. So actually, if you dive into the hidden interest, okay, and read between the lines, you understand that the money is not the real issue. The real issue is the money is the reflection of how people think about me at my workplace. So if I can provide this employee a better personal attention, maybe a better title, okay, or to promote them, or to provide them a better car, something like that, then I didn't offer them more money in the salary, but I answered their exact needs, the actual need, which is recognition and to have more fun or more appreciation in the workplace. This is one example.
Nice. And how do you communicate, for example, with an employee that has great potential, but they're getting too comfortable in their job. It feels like they're slacking. You still like to, have a great relationship with them, but you still like, there are some problems there. And what type of communication or communication tips can you share?
Yeah, first of all, the best way to solve the problem is to avoid it. So if you have a great
Yeah.
relationship with a worker and they will like you and they will like their job, they will be a better worker. So when you have a great communication with your employees, they will work harder for you, and we won't have those kind of problems. But if you have these kind of problems, I suggest just talk about it. Don't hide it. Don't hide your feelings. Don't hide your frustration. Don't wait for the last minute and then you are angry at the employee and you fire him or her. But just talk about it all the time, and you can share your feelings. You say, well, I'm frustrated because I told you this mission and I expected you to do it in 2 days, and I rely on it, and then you didn't do it. So it created me a conflict with the client, and I felt bad about it. So talk about your feelings. Tell the employees exactly what you want. I'm talking about in my lectures and workshops. I talk about call to action. Call to action means that if I would like people to do something, that tell them exactly what to do. To be very specific. You know, for example, when you go with your kids to an event, to a family event, and all the way you say, remember, behave nice, be nice, okay? And all the way you say, be nice, and then all the way back you probably say, but I told you to be nice. Why didn't you be nice? Why didn't you act nice? But so what happened? To be nice, it's not a specific instruction. If I tell him, when we come to a grandmother, grandfather, immediately give him a hug and kiss, okay? Or you don't get out off the table unless everyone finished to eat. Or you don't hit your brother if he does something to you, come and tell me, or something like that. Those are clear instructions. I know exactly what to do. And the kid or the adult, we are all human beings, I know exactly what to do. So provide specific instructions, and then the workers will know exactly what you expect them to do, and they will know if they did it or if they didn't do it.
Is there a certain way or kind of like a formula on how to give clear instructions?
Yeah, it's be specific as possible. There is a research decades ago in the United States how to get people to get vaccinated. Okay, so they took a group of students, and they showed them a presentation why they need to get a specific vaccination against something that they are in the target group and in the risk group. And they told them you need to take it half an hour presentation. It was very persuasive. You need to take the vaccination. And then the call to action at the end of the presentation was go and get vaccinated. Okay, and there were 100 students. The researchers checked 1 month later, and only 3 out of 100, only 3% conversion rate, they actually got vaccinated. So the researchers said to themselves, how? But the presentation was so effective. What happened? What happened is life happened, and the students got out of the lecture, and they said, okay, I need to get vaccinated. It's just I have a test 2 days from now, so I just do the test and then I will get vaccinated. And then you missed all the momentum. So what they did next month, they took another 100 students. They gave them the exact presentation, half an hour, and at the end they told them go and get vaccinated. But this time they gave them a map of the campus, and they gave them an X. They press X where the clinic is located, and they wrote them the number they need to call to the clinic, and they told them which hours the clinic is open. And then they checked after 1 month, they find out that 33 out of 100, 11 times more than the last time, actually took the vaccine. Why? Because you told them exactly what to do and you helped them do it. So if you need employees to do something you would like, then provide the specific instructions. It also applies to your kids, to your spouses, to your colleagues, everything. So be very specific and help people help you.
That's great. What are some examples of better communication online? Better way to write it?
Online. I always suggest you will use warm words and positive thinking. For example, if let's say you were in a job interview and you didn't get hired, okay? So I can write to you, hi Orion, unfortunately you didn't get the job. Best of luck. The department of HR, okay? And I can also write to you, hi Orion, I was very happy to meet you. It was a pleasure to interview you. Especially, I was very impressed from the fact that you are, and then I write something personal that it's not a bot or chat that wrote it, but actually a person who talked to you. Unfortunately, at this moment, we can't afford a job for you, and we save for ourselves the right to call you in the future if we need. best of luck, Yaniv, the head of the HR department, something like that. So actually the result was no at both messages, right? I wrote you an email, but the second message, you are a great ambassador for me. You will talk about the company. The second message, I'll save myself the right to call you again, because if you were upset and I call you 1 month or 2 months from now, hi, do you still need a job? Then you won't come because you had bad experience with me. So when I write warm words or positive words, and I write some information, some specific information, then you realize, then you appreciate the personal attention, then you will be ambassador for me. Maybe I don't want you for my company, but I want your friends or your colleagues. Then you can come back to the college, for example, and you say to your friend, I was interviewing. I had an interview in name of a company, and they were great. They were great people. I enjoyed very much. So other people who are relevant for me, they will come to get interviewed. Okay, so I strongly suggest. Sometimes people are very correct. They just use very formal messages, formal mails, so I say all the time, say be specific, be authentic, be positive, be warm, and people will react to it.
My husband and I used to go to tons of conferences, and maybe 2 a month. And I was always dreading the part where you go into the, just to meet a lot of strangers and you have to talk to them. And I just felt so artificial, and other people felt artificial too. I always like to just like find the 1 or 2 people that I connect with and just stay with them in my comfort zone. So
Yeah.
what are your tips to
First of all, when you come to the event and you would like to network, network meaning you need to create a bigger net of personal and professional and business connections, right? So when you come to an event, don't just talk to the person next to you or to the person you came with. This is what most people do. But if you would like to meet new friends or meet new colleagues or meet new customers, first of all, come early to the event and leave late, because most people, they come for a very short time. But most of the business transactions or the great communication transactions are at the beginning of the event, at the end of the event, where there are less people and you have more time and more attention to talk to other people. So spend the time. Don't just go to the event. Come to let's say walk and network. Okay. Second of all, think what you're going to say about yourself. Build the elevator pitch or elevator speech. Let's say if people ask you, what do you do? Then you need to have a 30, 40, 50 seconds presentation or small speech. What do you do? And the target of the speech is not to tell all the things you can say about yourself, but to create interest in the other side. And then they will ask you, okay, what do you mean by this and this and this? And then there is a conversation. And also listen to people. We talked about listening, that I'm not just would like to talk about myself, I would like to listen. And you said that it sounds very artificial, so be authentic.
It just seems like everybody is saying their little elevator speech. And
Yeah.
for me, I find it a little boring, honestly. I'm like, oh my God, yet another elevator speech. And a lot of time in networking, they're actually, I feel like the most successful people are the people that are less pushy and less give you their elevator speech, and they more focus on you. But then sometimes you feel this like sharky energy of like, hey, this is what I am. I practiced this little elevator speech for 30 days in front of the mirror, and look at me now.
Yeah, so I think there is a balance. I agree with you. There is a balance between talking about myself and listening to the other party. And we talked about emotions. We talked about sharing the emotions and listening to other people. But also find a common ground. For example, if we can talk about our kids, we can talk about the reason why we came to the event. We can talk about, if you're both business owners, let's talk about our business, our struggling, and be authentic. In my eyes, it means that you can also talk about failures, not about the success. When you just talk about success and you like you said, you sharpen your elevator speech and you sound like Superman, then people won't relate to you because you're not authentic. Okay. And today we are recording this in 2024, 2025. So people have I call it the fake radar or bullshit radar. That if you just try to talk about success, they won't believe in you. But they don't believe you, they don't relate to you. But if you talk also about your struggling, about your feelings, then people can relate. And I also always say my clients, when you talk to people, you need to be Batman and not Superman. Now, what is the difference?
What
Batman and
is
Superman, they're both superheroes, right? And they both look like human beings. But Superman is not actually a human being. He came from another planet. So if Superman will provide a workshop how to fly, okay, and I will sit in the first row. I bought the best ticket, and they will explain the exact details. Go to the highest tower, go to the roof, check the wind. Mind your first step or something like that. I will do exactly what he says, but I'm going to fall because he's a superhuman, and I'm just a human being. But Batman can provide a workshop how to fly, and he can tell you, Yaniv, I'm just like you. I even had worse life because the Joker killed my parents when I was young, and he fell into a cave, and I was afraid of bats and afraid of darkness. But then I develop a way how to fly. Let me teach you, and then I relate to him because I say, okay, we are the same. We have common ground. We're both humans. He's not trying just to fake a success, but he can also share the failures. So. And then people can relate to you. So my suggestion, first of all, if you come to network or you come to meet new people, yes, invest the time, invest the energy, come early and leave late. Listen to people, focus on people, talk to people, to new people, not just the ones you came with. But when you talk to people, be authentic, be the best version of yourself. Talk about yourself. By the way, I teach how to make an elevator pitch very funny and very interesting. It's not like it's not supposed to do like just technical facts one after another, what most people do, but you can tell a story that will be very creative. I teach how to do it. But after you provide your elevator pitch, then start, let's say, communicating with the other side and really listen, and then you can find a common ground.
great. So you went to the event, you communicated greatly with lots of people. How do you build the relationship? How do you maintain the relationship? I feel like some
Great.
people have a lot of talent and they are connectors and they remember people like my husband. They remember people from 10 years ago. They remember their names, their last names, where they saw them. I don't have this memory.
Okay,
and
so I will teach you some
they
tricks. Yeah.
okay. And they know how to maintain the relationships.
So first of all, I think the first secret of sales and marketing and networking is to love people. Okay, to love people, to really enjoy conversations with people. I enjoy now talking to you. Okay, it's not like a job. I'm not saying, okay, I'm talking to Orion, or oh my God, when it's going to end, because then you feel it. So if you talk to people and you really love people and you really interested in people, they will notice it. And if not, they will also notice it. Again, they're a fake radar. So love people, and be curious when you talk to people and try to gather new information. I don't think you know everything. Okay, so this is the first step. Second step is I always ask, how can I help you? Okay, because if you come to networking, to events, and you just try to take things from people, how can I get more clients? How can you pay me the quickest way or something like that? Then people will notice it, and you won't be able to establish a long-term relationship. But if you come to an event or you meet new people and you would like to give them something, to provide information, to provide value, to connect them with other people, relevant people, to share some tips with them or something like that, then at the beginning of the relationship is that you provide something to them or you gave something to them, so immediately they would like to give you something back. So I ask yourself, what can you give to the other side? How can you help the other side? And also ask it. Okay. Number three is you don't need to have a
Wait,
great memory.
before you move to number three, how do you do it, and what type of responses did you get when you asked other people, "Hey, do you need help with anything?" Or what type of help did you offer?
Yeah, first of all, let's say I'm business consulting and I consult on marketing sales. So if, for example, I ask you what do you do, and you say I'm a business owner, I have a website, I have lectures worldwide, something like that. So immediately say, how can I help you? And usually people are surprised when I ask them this, or when my clients ask them this, because most people, they're used to being taken advantage of. Okay, so people
Yeah.
immediately will say, okay, so maybe you need me as a consultant. No, but I ask, what do you need? How can I help you? And again, we're not talking about money or business. We're talking about two human beings talking to each other, including sharing the struggles. And then you will be surprised. And after you be surprised, most people, they actually share. If they see an authentic person in front of them who actually cares about it, they will share. And like you said, in the event you were with your husband, maybe if I notice here that you are bored, and I come to you and I said, okay, what's your name? Because I looked at you are not. You feel like you don't belong. Is it true? Because I also, when I came here, I didn't know anyone or something like that. And so how can I help you? Would like me to help you meeting new people or something like that? What do you feel? And then you start sharing because you say, okay, finally someone is actually seeing me, not just talking to me and sharing their elevator pitch. Okay. So I guess when you are authentic, when we are the best version of self, when we really care about people, they will notice it and they will collaborate with us and they will share information. And after, let's say we talked for a little bit during the event, and then I can take your information. I can share, we can share LinkedIn accounts. I can take your email, your mobile, your name, obviously, and then I can write you on my contact info in my mobile. Okay. Most people, they don't do it. Most people, they just talk to you and then they go and they don't have enough details about you. They don't have your mobile, don't have your mail. So I say we need to gather information. And we need to document the information. Okay. By the way, if it's relevant for us a business transaction in the future, then I can also write, for example, Orion. She has a business. She's a lecturer. I can help her with providing lectures worldwide, something like that. And I write it not in front of you, but after our conversation. So I finish the conference with 10 or 20 contact information like yourself. With what can I do to follow up? And then my follow up can be first thing, provide personal attention. Hi Ryan, it was great meeting you at the meeting when we were in this and this. So you remember me. I was very happy to talk to you. I was really happy to find out that, and then I write something personal. I attach this on some basic information about my activities. If I can help you in any way, just let me know. This is some general messages. Then I can also give you a link to my link tree or my website or something like that. So it's not like, hi Ryan, I can help you. It costs this and this. Let's schedule a meeting or something like that. But I offer you some information to read, or maybe some Zoom call or some information, let's say a further encounter with you.
Nice.
And then if it's relevant, if it's not relevant, then just we met, okay, so I'm on your contact info. Maybe 1 year from now, 2 years from now, you need someone like me, and you remember, oh, this was this guy at the party. What was his name? Let's find out in the contact. Let's write lectures. Dr. Yaniv Zaid, and then you can contact me. But if not, okay, great. We just met, and maybe you will see some post I write on LinkedIn. But if it's relevant for you, and then you can call me and say, okay, it's relevant. I actually need the help with my lectures or with my business or something like that, and then or with my marketing. And I remember you talked about it, so let's talk more. And then I can give you a call or something like that, and we can talk about the business. But again, not in a frightening way, not in a pushy way. But and you are the one who asked me, what do you do? How can you help me? Or I remember you said something about sales. I need to improve my sales. So what to do? And then we can talk about it.
And how do you follow up down the road? Like, how do you keep your leads hot? Do you have a system? Do you have a place where you write down everybody?
Yeah. So first of all, I write everyone in my contact info, and I write them on my CRM, and I save business cards if it's a digital business card, I write all the details. And I believe in a follow up as a group and follow up individually. Follow up as a group is that if I took your details and put it in my mailing list, and then I write to all of my mailing list newsletter once a week, then once a week you hear my name, and you hear Dr. Yaniv Zaid, and each time you get a new video, a new article. This is what I do for tens of thousands of people each week. About marketing and sales and negotiation and persuasion and public speaking. And then let's say for now it's not relevant for you, but then you see another newsletter, another one. Sometimes you read, sometimes you don't. But half a year from now, you need something regarding sales and marketing, you approach me, because I'm all the time available for you in your email. The same thing applies to LinkedIn, to Facebook, to Instagram. If we are members on Facebook and I upload 4 or 5 posts a week about my area of expertise, and you see it, then all the time you remember me. Okay, this is in a group, a group follow-up. Okay, but I can also share an individual follow-up. Let's say for once a month, once in 2 months, I sent you an email, or I sent you a personal email or personal WhatsApp or personal messenger, and I write to, hi Ryan, this is Yaniv, we met at the party. I thought about you because remember you said that you would like specific help in lectures in Germany. So I had a German colleague I met yesterday, and I can share the details with you if it's relevant for you. Okay, something like that. And then what do I say to you? I actually say to you it's a reason to call. Okay, it's a RTC follow-up. It's a reason to call. The reason I called you is not because I would like to sell something to you, because I have a connection to you. I refer to you in order to provide you something. And then, again, if it's not relevant, it's not relevant. But if it's relevant, you say, okay, great. And by the way, do you still help lecturers or speakers that would like to spread the word? And I would say yes. And then we can create a contact. So the two follow-ups, one in the newsletter or LinkedIn or Facebook, and second one, the individual the individual follow-up. In both cases, I provided you something. I provided you value. I provided personal attention. I remembered things you needed for me, and then we can start then developing a long-term relationship. And I have sometimes clients that come to me after years that they are in my mailing list, and they say, I read your emails for years, and now it's the time that I can call you. And sometimes I even don't know they exist, because there are somewhere in the system, but I never met them. And suddenly they come, and when they come, they are very eager to take my, for example, business consulting. Even even the pricier programs. They're very eager because they for years they got information from me, and they got value, and they use some practical tools I provided for free, and then they are willing to pay.
So when you try to sell them on a high ticket item, how do you justify the value? What are the secrets to selling a high ticket item?
The secret is to sell the problem before the solution, because again, what you buy as a client, you don't buy the solution, you buy your problems. If I take if I take a regular bouquet of flowers and I call it a regular bouquet of flowers, I can charge $100. But if I call it a bridal bouquet, flowers for the wedding, then I can charge $300 to $500. Each product for wedding, it costs usually 3 to 5 times more than the actual cost. So why? And people are paying it, and they pay happily to pay it. So why? Because I'm not buying actually flowers. When I buy the bridal bouquet, the flowers for the wedding, I'm not actually buying flowers. I am buying the one in a lifetime experience, the feeling, the pictures that I will look great as a bride. You look great as a bride, and then 10 years from now, you will sit with your groom, with your kids, and they will look at the photo albums. They will say how you look, how beautiful mommy was. And 40 years from now, you will sit with your grandkids and say how look, how beautiful grandmother was. And you would like to feel, the $1 million feeling of a queen for a day. All this you buy when you buy a bridal bouquet. So I need to understand your needs. And if I said your exact needs, then I can sell you my product as a solution to the problem, or as an answer to the needs, or as a cure to your pain. And the bigger the problem, the more I can charge you, or the more likely I can sell it to you.
And what if somebody says it's too much? That means you just didn't show the value as well?
Yeah, so in my workshops and my books, I always teach how to handle objections. So one of the most common objections is it's too pricey for me. So if someone says it's too pricey for him or for her, then I can also, first of all, if I gathered information and I document the information, I can use the information. I can say, Orion, but you actually said that it's very important for you because 1 and 2 are free. So how much are you willing to pay to solve these problems? Okay. In my eyes, it's priceless, but I'm offering you in this and this and this. So I can focus on your problems. This is one. Second of all, I can focus on on the results that you will gain, because sometimes people see they look on the short term, but I'm looking on the long term. So for example, you come to my workshop to learn how to increase your sales and marketing abilities. So I say, okay, but when you have those tools, you can close more deals. Now, you told me that one deal for you is $1,000. So think about if you close, let's say, 3 deals, then you already, gave yourself back the cost of the workshop, for example. Okay, so I can show you how you will invest money in me, but the money will come back to you. Okay, or you will get results. Or what does it mean that you are struggling with your business, for example? That means that maybe you have fights with your husbands, maybe you are not happy, maybe you are considering doing something else that you are not satisfied with. So I will help your business, but I will also help your happiness and the quality of your life. So it's not just about the business, or just not about the formal results. So I can also share this information if I know you a little bit and I understood what your needs are. But again, I can do all this, and eventually some of them will buy, they will be convinced to buy. Some of them will say, it's still too pricey for me. And so I can say, okay, no problem. When it will be relevant, great, I will be happy I'm here to assist you. And in the meantime, you can enjoy my free gift, my free content on LinkedIn, on newsletter, and the mailing list, on Facebook. And if you need something, just call me. And then I have many clients like this that they for years they didn't pay me, or they pay me just for for my books, of my let's say seminars, let's say not too pricey seminars. But then when mature enough, and when the problem is strong enough, they come and they buy the expensive products.
Yeah, so you just put yourself out there, you keep sending good vibes and good things and good communication. You play the long game and things just come back at you. You just have to be patient.
Yeah, we're talking about long-term relationship. I think you and I we both play the long game, the long-term relationship, and also provide free contact like we do now, and also good vibes, because we talked about our mission in the beginning of the conversation. So let's end with the mission, because it's if my mission is to help businesses or business owners, and to help authors, and to help lecturers and speakers, and to help companies that I admire their values. Not if company I don't like the values of their products, I won't help them grow the business. But if companies I think they bring good to the world, and I will help them, if it's my mission, then I will be a nicer guy. I will be a more curious guy when I talk to people. Then I love my clients. Then I will be more eager to help them. So it all, we start with the being, and then we do the doing. The doing is what to say when people say something to you, or how to build your elevator pitch, or what to say to objection. It's too pricey for me. This is the doing, but you need to have the being, to be mentally strong, to have a great mission, to know your why. And this is something that we're talking about. Your audience loves personal development. So there are lots of personal development also in sales and marketing and networking, because it's all connected. The personal and the professional is connected.
I agree. And before we say goodbye for now, two questions. One is, what are your 3 top tips to living a stellar life? And number 2, where can people find you, learn more about you, connect with you, buy your book?
My 3 tips, first of all, is love your audience, and love your surrounding, and love your clients. Okay, for lectures, I always say love your audience, they will love you back. For salesperson, I say love your customer, they will love you back. Second thing is always be positive, and use positive words online when you talk to people and when you write to people, because you can say the same message, let's say in a correct way, in a positive and warm way. And 3 is listen to people, really see people. Again, it's also relevant for spouses and our kids, but we're talking about colleagues and vendors and clients. But really listen to people. And if you listen to people, first of all, you will be one of the few people on earth listen to them, but they will remember you, they will admire you, they will help you. And the universe will take action, because if you are nice to people, the universe will be nice to you. If you listen to people, they will also would like to help you. If you sound different to your other competitors, then people will come to you, not to them, no matter how much you charge. So just love people, be nice, listen to people, be focused on your why. I think it's the